Hi, everybody. I'm Terry. Happy Monday. And if you're here with me, thank you for being with me. I'm coming at you with another scintillating video. But seriously, I hope that this profound vlog is one that will help anybody who has gone or is going through what I went through this past week. And getting right to it, that's a narcissistic relationship. But most importantly, um, all of you, any of you who've been with me here, know that I am the most passionate animal advocate. Animals are my life, and I say that proudly, and I say that most lovingly, and that is what I foremost and most passionately want to do with my life. So that's in its place, and it always will be. With that said, um, on a side note, I'm a real person. And again, if you've been with me, then you know that I've been on a journey. I am a former inmate. I have been in Los Angeles uh, and California jails and prisons, respectively. I have an arrest history. I have a history of childhood abuse. Um, I was raised by narcissistic sociopath parents. Um, I had been very dysfunctional. I have a history of childhood sexual abuse. I was abused as early as about um, 11 to 12 years old when I was raped. And I know that I was sexually abused even before that by family, or I should say so-called family. So yes, I grew up as a very dysfunctional child and adolescent and adult, and I have been through quite the journey. But I've become such a better person for it, such a smarter and wiser person. And it's been very, very tough, but it's also been so rewarding. That's not a cliche, it's really true. I've seen the growth in myself, though, most um, these past couple of years. And I've discovered so much that has made me so glad, so happy. But, everything that I've learned in a good way has come at a very harsh and harmful and unforgettable price. This past weekend, on my screen, on my feed, a lot of quotes came to me which had never come to me before, and I wasn't even searching for them. Was it coincidence? I don't know, but they were so fitting. And what happened to me this past week, I will say honestly, it it absolutely gutted me. And I don't think I've used that term before, gutted, but it gutted me from the toes up because I never thought it would happen to me again, because I thought mistakenly that I had learned everything that I needed to learn, and I was wrong. For reference, this encounter was not at all a romantic relationship. Far from it. It was actually on the opposite end of the spectrum. This is somebody who I've known, who until this happened, I thought was somebody very near and dear to me. I was wrong. And that goes to show that things that happen to us in life and bring us so much misery, bring us that misery, bring us that suffering and that hurt because of how we feel about someone and or something. And I discovered also something else about myself, that this entire journey and all of my hurt and all of my pain was never really about the other people who were in my life. It was always about me, because if I didn't feel the way I felt, well, then I could never feel the pain either. So the suffering and the pain that I felt was always about me, because it was a result of how I felt about people and situations. With that, I have to say that I have been so blessed, and I am so grateful that all that I have. I have my health, I have my sanity, which is to say a lot, that I that I still have my sanity, although I will say I'm touched. I'm you know, I haven't skated by LOL without being touched, but I have maintained um, my sanity for the most part, you could say. And as I'm making this vlog, I realize that, I have a stalker. Actually, I have an online stalker. She's been my stalker for several years, and I've mentioned her before, Tori Ann Ruse. She's slandered and defamed me on the internet. She's a stalker. She's obsessed, and I'm sure she's watching this right now and enjoying it. And I've come to learn that, you know what? It's not good, but it's okay, because I will always be real. I will always be me, and I'm a good person. Um, I've done regretful things in my life. I've made questionable decisions. I've made bad decisions. I've made good decisions. But all of those actions and every place that I've been and everything that I've done has made me the person that I am today. And it's made me a better person. I'm not a perfect person. I am far from a perfect person. There have been times when I've been very hard on myself, like this past week, when I've had this encounter. And that's all I'm going to give it credit for. It was an encounter. It was an encounter that gutted me, that hurt me deeply. But it also did something else that I didn't think at the time when I was in it, buried so deep for that moment. It did something else for me that's good. It brought me through with a lesson that I didn't know I needed to learn, but I did need to learn. And that's why it came up. With that said, this is an individual who, after the encounter that I had a few months ago last year with another person, L, the encounter with L, then I knew that, or I thought I did at the time, that I had learned everything, because that also really deeply hurt me. And I think I rested on that. And while I agree that we should not have to go through life all the time being tightly on guard, gritting our teeth, awaiting the next negative experience, in that way, just so we'll be ready and prepared on how to react or not react to protect ourselves. Um, it's good to always have in the forefront of your mind things that have happened to you, so that you will be ready if something else comes up. Because for some of us, life is a longer journey than for others, and for me, it's definitely been almost at times what I feel is endless, because the lessons have been coming and coming and coming and coming at me. The difference is that I used to not want to learn those lessons, although I knew they were lessons, although I knew what was going on and I was fully informed. I also intentionally deluded myself because I was not ready to learn those lessons. I wanted to still be in that situation because I was a different person, because I was desperate to be loved. I was desperate to be wanted. And I've learned that you should never be desperate, because when you're desperate is when you make your worst decisions. And one of those is choosing to allow people in your life who are bad people, who are narcissists. And narcissists are an offshoot of sociopath psychopath personality disorder. And although it's called a disorder, it is not a sickness, it's a permanent condition for those who have it. And that means that they're truly evil and they will never change. There's nothing you can do to outdo them, to play their game with them, or to beat them at that game, because why would you want to? Those types of people should just not be in your life. And I know for some who are married to those people and cannot disentangle themselves right away, it's difficult. But, all of those relationships are not marriage related, they're not romantic related. They're different types, they're different capacities of relationships. So, some you don't have to be in. If you're in them, you choose to, as I have, And so they've come to me in the form of familial, family, romantic relationships, co-worker related relationships, in different ways, because I grew up dysfunctional and I was raised by narcissists. I attracted narcissists to myself because it's all I knew. I actually was an empath, and that was a it was a bad place for me to be, and I'm no longer an empath. So I've learned. So this past week, this person who I thought was near and dear to me, but whom I had given up on, and I thought that I would let this person be. This person actually found me on social media, and this person came from me, approached me, and I was so happy and so excited. It came so suddenly out of nowhere. Um, I won't lie. I was really, really happy, really excited. I was ecstatic. And in the cocktail of being desperate for love, being desperate to be wanted, being desperate to be accepted, especially by this person, I did not stop to take a moment to think about this. I jumped right into it headlong. I dived right into it. Head first, face first, nose first. And as a result, I gave away my power. Um, I handed it all over, and it was a mistake. Um, I opened the door for this person to come into my life after that first contact, when the person found me and came for me. And at the time, I wanted nothing more for this person to be in my life. It was just something that it was so exciting and so happy for me. But it was a Trojan horse. I was tricked. And all the red flags were there. It was in the inconsistencies of what this person claimed, um, and other things as well. All the red flags were there, but I, again, chose to delude myself. That's my fault. That's on me. I take responsibility for that. It was extremely hurtful, um, because I realized very quickly what I had done, and so I chose to get out of it. And I was very angry at this person. I told said person how I felt. I also, at the same time, in the process of doing that, I confided in that person what happened to me a few months ago last year with L. And I told O this. I confided in O. One of the beautiful quotes that I read this weekend had something to the effect of, it was, one of the worst pains is that of the person who you confided your pain to and use that to hurt you again. So when I confided this to O, and said goodbye, O decided to love bomb me. Love bombing is real. I want to say this to everybody, or to anybody who's here with me right now. One of the best things to know to protect yourself is that deception comes in so many forms. Deception can come in the form of what we are desperate for and want so badly. Deception can come in the form of innocence. It can come in the form of promises. It can come in the form of fun. It can come in the form of hope. But all of those things are lies. Let me put it to you this way. In the typical Hollywood movies, like some of the scary or supernatural movies. By the way, I love horror flicks, the supernatural kind, not the gory kind. And so in those movies, if you've seen one, then you know how the devil comes in the form of maybe a child. The child is standing at the end of a dimly lighted tunnel, and um, and the main character, the protagonist, is standing at the other end, right? And the child is saying, well, the devil in the false form of a child is saying, Mommy, Mommy, I need you, Mommy. I hurt my foot. And the protagonist is standing there. The protagonist's friend, the supporting actress, is, no, Susie, don't do it. That's not really Patty. That's the devil. Don't fall for it, Susie. No, don't start walking down that tunnel. But Susie's saying, no, I have to. That's my baby. No, Susie, it's not. It's the devil. And meanwhile, that form is still, Mommy, Mommy, I miss you, Mommy. Mommy, my foot hurts. And so there's this battle, but that's just it. It's knowing that despite what you so desperately have wanted, and what you think you love, and or what you think is important to you versus what really is. And it's stepping back from your past traumas and from your past wounds and from some of your biggest desires, and knowing what's really in front of you and knowing that that's not it. Because if you fall for it, it's dangerous and it's harmful. It can be fatal, you know. You don't know until you really fall for it. So I felt like that's what happened to me when I was able to finally step back from it when it was over. That's what I so clearly saw. It was a deception, and love bombing is what it is. And because I was still not ready when I was in the moment, I was still not ready. I still wanted so much to be loved by this person that I fell for the love bombing. And then I handed everything over again, my power. You know, oh, yes, okay, okay. No, 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 no. I shouldn't have reacted that way. Um, no, I believe what you say that you're not, oh, forgive me. You're not L, you're O, you're not that person, you're a different person. No, you are a good person. No, 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 I understand. No, I believe you, and everything. And that was a phone conversation that I had with O. And I thought, oh, it's so good. Now, we've gotten things cleared up. And after all of the declarations by O, here's somebody who really loves me and has sought me out and has been looking for me and found me and is going to be good to me. I finally found that love, and all of that. So, but at the same time, I told O what I needed. I need you to be consistent in um, your words versus your actions. I need you to um, not disappear again, and all of those things. So after this um, so-called lovely phone conversation, the next day it was right back to everything that triggered me having told O goodbye. I was tricked. But that was my fault. I had stepped away and I had left it alone, and that was my chance to stay away. And however, when I was love bombed, I gave away my power again and I fell for it again. It was up to me not to fall for it. And I was really, a lot of my anger was at myself because I told myself, but you should have known better. This has happened to you so many times. This was such a part of your journey. I mean, this is a lesson that you should have learned at the very least for the last time a few months ago last year when L did this to you, and why did you fall for it again? What's wrong with you? You know better. You've always known better. What is wrong with you? Okay, so many people are dysfunctional, but how dysfunctional are you? And I was so angry at myself. And I told O exactly how I felt, that I finally saw for the last time what O really is all about. And it was even more painful for me this time than a few months ago with the other person, L, because this person, to me, in my mind, was innocent. and good, and I thought, I had hoped, really truly loved me, for the real me. And that just like, that was so intoxicating and so touching. And because really, when it comes down to it, why do we love people? Because they love us. Yes, there's something called unconditional love. But unconditional love is not love where you love somebody to the point of allowing them to harm you. And that's what I did. And that was what I was guilty of. And now I've learned irrevocably that I'll always be on guard. Not in a way where I'm going to lead with tension, where I'm going to lead with anger or bitterness. I'm not going to do that. I have so much to look forward to. I have so much that I've been through, but I also have so much to look forward to, and I'm going to enjoy my life. Probably the biggest part, no, for sure, the biggest part of it is that I want to help animals in every possible way that I can. And it overwhelms me because of how much I want to help. But I enjoy that. I love that because animals are my everything. Nothing will ever come before animals in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, and in my all. So that's the enjoyment. Yet I have so much more to enjoy too. I have something coming up that I've been wanting to do and needing to do and looking forward to for so long, and now I finally set the date. And I've gotten so much done here as far as renovations and getting everything ready. This past weekend, something really good happened for me. After all of that hurt, when I finally and permanently got out of it, although I got out of it roughed up, I got out of it scathed. But I also got out of it a better person. For a while there, it was iffy. But I came through it better, a lot better. And one of the most beautiful quotes that came up on my feed this weekend that I wasn't looking for, and it came to me, is one where it said that in a situation, if it was good, it becomes a memory. If it was bad, it's a lesson. And this was a lesson. Another lesson, a hard lesson, but a lesson. I didn't deserve that treatment. For all the good that I had been to that person, for all the love that I felt all those years for that person, not just wanting love, but for the love that I felt. For all that I did, I didn't deserve that. And why would you come after me and seek me out just to trick me for one moment of whatever satisfaction it gave you? But that tiny bit of satisfaction that those types of people get from you, narcissists, and the huge amount of pain that they cause you, for them it's just momentary, right? But look at it this way, for you, it's a lifetime lesson, and there's a beauty in it that at the time you can't see it. We can't see it because all we see is the hurt. But after the rain, there's this serenity that comes out of it. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what happens in narcissistic relationships, whether it was long term or short term like mine, because short term can also be very profound and harmful. What comes out of it is that when you finally and really, really, I mean, at the root of yourself, decide that you've had enough and that you really have learned and that you don't want to repeat it, that you don't have the desire anymore to repeat it, you don't have the desire for that person in your life, that you are no longer desperate for the feelings, whether it's the highs, whether it's the delusion of love that you're getting out of that, when you finally decide that you are completely done, you also find that now you've learned your lesson. And now you're equipped to always protect yourself. But on the other end of it, what that person gets out of it is that they're going to go on and keep repeating those things with other people in their lives, and they're going to be miserable because, believe this, a narcissist will never be happy. Narcissists are at the root bad people. You can't change them. You can't love them into a difference. You can't push them into a difference. You can't manipulate them into a difference. They are what they are, and they will always be that. And if they change, it's only for the worse. But you, as a good person, when you change, it's for the better, for yourself and those around you. We'll never be perfect, but we'll get better. And this is not a proper term, but we will be gooder. And I'm so thankful for that. And with that, I'm so thankful for the good things in my life. Because after that disasters came something good, to good people come good things. This weekend I had a sale and there were a lot of things that I needed to sell because I'm revamping, and I mentioned that, I have this project that I'm working on, and I will maybe talk about it soon. Um, but there are a lot of things that I needed to do. I'm sitting here in my new and beautiful living room. The sale I had this weekend, Saturday, was like almost nothing. I sold nothing, and I was so frustrated. And I was just like, oh my God. But here's the thing with me, I'm persistent. I've always been persistent. And that's what I'm saying. Be persistent. Never give up, no matter what it is. If it's something good, never give up, whether it's learning lessons and becoming a better person, getting out of that terrible relationship, um, achieving a goal, anything. Never give up on something good, because I got up on Sunday and it was great. Um, there weren't a lot of people, but the people who came bought so much. I have so many good things, new things, because I changed my mind a lot. And also, a few months ago, last year, um, I did a I did a small role in an indie film. It's a horror flick. Um, And so as a result, I got a lot of products, but I chose not to promote them because my channel right now is so small. So I didn't want to do that. So instead, I sold them. And then I had a lot of things that I bought myself, just a lot of designer shoes, uh, 4-inch heels that I don't want because they're not fashionable anymore, even though, these are recent purchases that I had made. So I changed my mind and I wanted to sell those. I just had a lot of nice things, and I sold some furniture, and now I get to go out, and now that I have the space, I get to go out and buy some new furniture. This stuff is also new, but I have another room to furnish. So today I'm really excited. And so that's what happened for me Sunday. And the point of that is that just when you think that what you want is not going to happen, things can change in a matter of minutes, literally in minutes, because that's what happened. You know, people came and I made suggestions like, are you interested in furniture? Are you interested in this or that? And it was like, you know, just about everything sold. And finally, because for a long time I couldn't sell anything, you know, and so it was really frustrating. It was really hard, but it happened. So, um, some really good things happened for me because I didn't give up. So, no matter what you're going through, what I want to say is don't give up. Don't give up because it's like a bamboo tree, you know? It grows so slowly, but suddenly when it does grow, it grows beautifully. And thank you so much for being with me. I would love it if you enjoyed this for you to subscribe, thumbs up, and like, comment, post questions, suggestions, anything. Keep it positive, and I will see you back here soon. Thank you. Bye.